I'm Lisa Pickering, and welcome to CITV's Press Talk. Here's the most recent news and information from the government of Bermuda.
Good afternoon, members of the media, and thank you for joining me here this afternoon. By now, many of you have had the chance to review Budget 2017-2018. And as you have seen during your review, it is a comprehensive continuation of the two-track plan to stimulate economic growth and to make government more efficient. We have worked very hard to ensure that this year's budget addressed our serious external challenges while making sure that the people we serve here at home, our fellow Bermudians, are properly supported and cared for. It is a budget that deals with the realities we face today, and in that regard, it puts forward measures and steps to safeguard people and diminish the internal and the external threats to our island home. My colleagues and I are optimistic that the programs and initiatives contained in the budget will support people who need support while providing a framework and a plan to safeguard Bermuda's future. I'm particularly proud of our work to reform the payroll tax structure because it will introduce fairness into the system, a system that has been unfair to people who earn less, and because it will provide cash to those people and give them a break, a relief. Making Bermuda fair is a fundamental goal of this government, and reform of the payroll tax system is a big step in that direction. The Minister of Finance has and will continue to provide more information regarding our proposed payroll tax reform strategy. But more importantly now, to those Bermudians who continue to struggle, my colleagues and I are saying very clearly to you in this budget, we hear you. Let me provide you a bit of a snapshot that the Ministry of Finance has already provided in dealing with the yearly savings that people can expect at various wage levels. A person earning $45,000 per year will see a savings that equals $526.50. A person earning $75,000 per year will see a savings that equals $667.50. A person earning $95,000 per year will see a savings that equals $717.50. A person earning $120,000 per year will see a savings that equals $300. Any person earning less than $137,143, as 75% of Bermudians do, will see an increase in their take-home pay because of these savings. Obviously, anybody over that will be taxed more in the tiered strategy. As we have indicated in the budget, the current structure has always been unfair to the lower income employees, and we have worked hard to construct a workable tiered system to help address these disparities. Other important aspects of the budget 2017-2018 include our commitments to education, public safety, and economic growth. In the first instance, with education, it is essential that we provide our children with a first-class education system. And to that end, we have increased the funding to the Ministry of Education to provide a safe, supportive, and nurturing school environment for our young people. Safeguarding and protecting our citizens is another priority of this government. In that regard, the Ministry of National Security will receive additional funding to boost police numbers and to invest in programs to support our young people. Our work to provide Bermuda's tourism industry with the support needed to keep it growing is another big focus for the upcoming year. This is about using our resources to grow jobs and opportunities for Bermudians. We are already seeing new life in Bermuda due to tourism. This is something that even the most hardened critic cannot deny. The fact is, 2017 has the potential to be a good year for Bermuda in terms of hotel development, increased airlift to the island, the return of a dedicated cruise ship in St. George's and Hamilton, and of course, the America's Cup, which is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that is generating unprecedented exposure across the world for Bermuda. Now, there are those who have a differing view regarding our economic strategy. But I believe it's important to point out that everything we are doing to generate economic activity is being done to generate jobs and opportunity for Bermudians. Full stop. It's about securing an economic future for one and all, something that we came perilously close to losing in recent years. Now, we're not out of the woods yet, but we're on our way, and this budget is going to continue to help us get there. In recent days, we have heard from organizations and advocacy groups who have offered their interpretation of this year's budget. And we welcome these conversations, and of course, we wish them to continue, because we have to do all we can do to understand the needs and to work together if we are to continue to move forward. Now, as I bring my comments to a close, as the minister responsible for the public service, I think it's important to offer some clarity regarding recent comments about civil service employment numbers. We have worked very hard in recent years to reduce the overall costs to government while making operations more efficient. We instituted a hiring freeze for all but a very few critical positions and introduced a voluntary early retirement program. And we continue to implement SAGE Commission recommendations for greater efficiencies and for performance accountability. The results to date are promising. As the Minister of Finance stated this morning during the budget breakfast, since becoming the government, the number of government employees has decreased by 649. This compares to an increase of more than 1,000 jobs added to the civil service during the years of the former administration. To illustrate this another way, the former administration increased the size of the civil service by 20%, and we have reduced it by 12%, a record achieved across 4 years with no layoffs or redundancies. Ultimately, this year's budget and its proposed policies have sought to responsibly manage our finances while maintaining our ability to provide vital services to the people that we serve and to support revenue-generating programs. It is never an easy balance to achieve, especially given the extreme debt burdens we continue to face. But we feel confident, and we've been able to strike that balance, and in doing so, to ease cost of living pressures on the people who need it the most. As I indicated in the press conference after the budget was read by the Minister of Finance last Friday, later this week, ministers will provide a general overview of their ministries and to support the programs and initiatives that they have. Having said that, I am available to you, the media, to answer any questions that you might have on the budget 2017-2018.
We had an analysis this morning in the paper from Craig Simmons, the economics lecturer, just saying that more could have been done in terms of helping low-income workers. How does that look when you're grappling with the actual budget in terms of being able to achieve that? He did admit that there was not a lot of room for the finance minister to do that.
Well, I obviously read his commentary with interest, and I think he answered the question himself by the time you got to the end of that opinion piece, because obviously everyone would like to see more done or less done in certain areas. But I believe that with the comments we have had from across the community in support of the budget or some slight criticism of what we've done in the budget, I think we've struck the right balance. Remember, the Minister of Finance has been very difficult for him to make some of the economic moves he'd like to make since we became the government in 2012, just because the deep hole that we've had in debt. And as he illustrated at the budget breakfast this morning, we're paying $500,000 every day to service that debt. And we're starting to get in a much better position where we can be more proactive. But we have to be careful because the economy that we are stimulating is still in a somewhat precarious position. And so we have to be careful with our moves, and everyone has an impact on another. But we believe in this case we struck the right balance. So the cautious support that I see throughout the community on the budget, I think, signals that we have measured it in the right way.
Can you just elaborate the payroll changes? When would you see that becoming effective?
April 1st, at the start of the financial year. There'll be, obviously, this week, Friday's the economic debate in the House. One of the days that all members of Parliament look forward to because it's a long day, but they all have a chance to speak. And then we get into 56 hours of budget debate in the House, and I think there's about 28 hours of budget debate in the Senate where all the ministries are fleshed out. So there'll be a greater detail expressed at that time, depending on the heads that the opposition choose to pick, because they control the time allocated to each heading. But ministers will do their best to outline them with great efficiency and detail. And I look forward to doing the Cabinet Office and any others that were appointed to do.
You've been watching Press Talk right here on CITV. Join us next time for your government's news and information. I'm Lisa Pickering.